I just learned that everybody's running. Everybody's running for their dreams. But they're slowing me down. They're taking up time. They're taking up. They're gonna use you up in time. So now you've got to dream loud, dream loud. Who do you want to be? Dream loud, dream loud. Who do you want to talk to when you're alone? You're alone. Who do you want to please when you leave this world? Bad days turns into good.
Trust me, gay is in, gay is hot. I want some gay, gay it's gonna be. Trust me.
Well, hello, everybody. It's Monday. It's Monday. I know it's been an action-packed, adventurous day, and thank you so very much for tuning in, all of us, or tuning in to all of us. And I appreciate each and every one of you. My name is Liz Ferris. My father's name is Robert Ferris. My mother's name is Sandra. And I was born in this horrible thing called the Sea Org. It has some ups, it has some downs, but I'm not the only one that was born into it. We also have the amazing Lara FM, who was born into this horrendous cult. And so what Lara and I like to do is compare what I had to grow up at Pack Base and then Flag, and then back to Pack Base, and then she was at the ranch. So it's nice to open up to someone that knows what it's like to feel so unattached to quite a few things and get past it and learn together and learn and grow and learning and loving. So without further ado, I know you guys are all waiting for the amazing, the talented, the beautiful Lara FM. How do you like them apples?
And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's? She said, I think I remember that.
And as I recall, we both kind of liked
it. And I said, what about breakfast at Tiffany's?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not really breakfast at Tiffany's.
We got.
Yeah. Hi, Liz.
Hi, amazing. I wore goldenrod just for you.
And I wore it just for you.
Because I was sick of saying I'm ungoldenrod. And even though it kind of makes me look pale, it makes you look tan. I look even more pale.
No, it's because you're wearing yellow, not goldenrod.
It's listed
see the
as
difference,
golden.
guys? Do you guys see the difference? Liz, you see the difference. I know you do.
I do see the difference.
It's not quite orange. It's not quite yellow, but it's not yellow and it's not orange.
Yeah, well, at least it's close. At least it's close because
goldenrod.
Like, I don't do my nails.
Goldenrod.
I got gay hands, okay? I got gay hands. We don't do our nails.
But you can still have goldenrod nails.
I will do them once for you.
You know, the middle finger is always good.
True.
Emphasizes all that.
So I do have to tell you, before we get started in talking about our youth, I popped into Nora's live. And Nora was talking about how the volunteer ministers are not just the volunteer ministers anymore. They're also Sea Org members dressed up as volunteer ministers.
That's how it is. That's how it always has been. There literally has been anytime, because there's always a Sea Org member in a post on their job position, their post to be running those volunteer ministers. So they always have a Sea Org member in a volunteer minister shirt. How fucking simple is it? Literally, guys, you wear a Lara FM shirt at my concert or at my show, I'm going to know who you are out there. You are there. You're not going to see volunteer ministers on my show. So that's the whole point, is literally they're making a stand. They're creating this lie. Sadly, my mom is the one editing it and putting it into the events that they watch every month on a monthly basis. They're watching it's always the birthday or his birthday event or the New Year's event or the, Otter Days Day event or the whatever it is, Dianetics Day. So there's always an event that my mom's constantly busy doing. And what she's doing is literally making sure the editing of the tapes, the videos are lined up, so to speak, literally when the leader or the people on the stage are talking. And there's video footage of while he's talking, that fake video footage that they're playing is literally edited footage, like what they were doing. They had volunteer ministers showing up at the racetracks in Santa Anita, in the Pasadena, Altadena area, and Arcadia, I believe. More, but all that, like in that whole area. But they also had them showing up at these sites where they had the hotspots for relief of the fires and rescue, like people to be helped during these fires. And the volunteer ministers of Scientology with their goldenrod shirts and sitting there literally being like, what kind of fucking people show up and like volunteer ministers? We're ministers to hear me, but this is serious. It's way more serious. I have this all over my Instagram, all over my Facebook. I'm constantly saying, this is a scam, beware. And what's interesting is that I'm able to make a point directly to the people in Los Angeles currently by being like, look, this is what we're talking about. When there's a disaster relief anywhere, you're going to see volunteer minister Scientology hiding behind this volunteer minister label as being somebody there to help support or relieve funds or some sort of care to people that are victims of these fires. And then what really doing, the bottom line, is recruiting people for Scientology. They are recruiting people into Scientology by making you interested in a book, by giving you a nervous assist or a touch assist. And hopefully that might have made you feel better. And now you're interested in a more, physical healing than all these alternate, the way that they pitch this is like, oh, and we're against psychiatry and all this, and this is a new way of life. And they're getting people at their literal bottom and feeding them a lie to get them into their cult.
Yeah. Like going door to door, like MD Media, I think I saw him in the chat, but he got sent the video where it showed them actually knocking on doors of people in danger areas.
Yeah,
like,
I
do you
shared
want
it
some
on my
supplies? I need to get on Facebook more because
I just share it when there's something important that there's not a lot of people. Like, it's weird. Some people are on Instagram, some people are on Facebook, but sometimes you're either Instagram or you're Facebook. Like, you're not both.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so yeah, it's really important to get that out because this is just showing an example of, sadly, these, as children, we looked up to people like the volunteer ministers. We were put on this whole lie, this whole view of like, oh my God, look, they were there at 9/11. And oh my God, look, they were there here. And oh my God. And it's like volunteer minister, whenever there's sites, I'm sure that we're going to see the event footage of the volunteer ministers being there.
Yeah. And they're going to be showing helping.
Yeah, help.
Like,
and this is what they're showing. They're showing fake footage of volunteer ministers just showing their bright shirts, their bright goldenrod, obvious colors, going into these crowds of people where they have dog food, loads of whatever it is. And they're taking some of this stuff, grabbing this and loading their own vehicles and their own volunteer minister trucks up, or whatever vehicle they have up, and then going to the blue building and putting them in the tents, being like, yeah, come on in here. Or even giving them relief right there with a touch assist on their little fake volunteer minister tent. And then from there, they're like, if somebody finds relief or something, they're just diverting them in a time, but it's such a crisis. They literally are stalling them from having a better life by lying to them, by even being in an environment where there's any sort of relief any sort of relief to anybody going through these situations. There's no reason for volunteer ministers to be anywhere other than them producing a fake video that then gets edited into the internal group, the internal programmed, brainwashed, controlled cult. This is why we're calling it a cult, because nobody in the group is individually going to stop this organization from doing this. They all are being told, look, why are you yelling? Look at these SPs yelling at the volunteer ministers. But the fucking volunteer ministers don't even know what actual care in a situation like this exists, like what that means to be showing up to something like this and existing in a space. They don't understand, like, they're so used to be told, like, giving orders and you go here and you do this. They are not there. They are there to get people to body route them to the blue buildings or to the nearest Scientology organization. And then at the same time, they're literally stealing funds that the community is putting together and saying, oh, we have another area over here that, we're in touch with the person running this. And they said, load the trucks and bring them to the next area. And that's on Fountain right in front of the Scientology building.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on.
So it's
I just
one
got a
big
delivery
fraud.
I have to sign for.
Hurry up. Just kidding.
So you take over real quick and explain why people need to stay away. So let me back out real quick and it'll just be you.
Cool. And I can say hi to some people in chat. Hi, guys. Oh, look I can see my braids now. Woo! I did like a little happy and in a cute little bun to hold my little fluffers. Still have not managed to dye my hair yet, but maybe, maybe tomorrow I'll get a chance. So yeah, guys, this will be fun. Ooh, I gotta say hi to people in the chat. Hi, Witch Share. Hi, Kelly, YouTube fan. That girl watering this morning at Blue. Matt was like, oh dang, yeah. Matt, you're in the chat. Hi, Roxy fucking Ryan. Adrian, hello, Tonya Anderson. Rose Petal, hi, hello, everybody. So it's fun. I love being we have a lot of fun little topics we're going to bring up. I think we're going to be starting with, of course, breakfast. And even we were just talking about just meals, breakfast, children of Scientology, like either being a cadet in Scientology, going through these types of normal behaviors. These are normal behaviors for Sea Org Scientologists, or being a Sea Org cadet, like being a Sea Org cadet going through this, not being considered a child, no matter your age, or being an outside public Scientologist going through this, doesn't matter your age either. It's just, nope, you're being banky. No, knock off this whenever you're upset, whenever something isn't right, whenever you have a disagreement with something, it's okay. You knock off what you're doing so that we can figure out, you like, basically like your disagreement is banky. You're like, anything that you're communicating to us that we don't agree with, or is causing turbulation and causing negative, having us to think, oh, how are we going to handle this situation with this problem? This seems like a problem. Who's creating this problem? Instead of actually caring for what the problem is and what the situation is. Things just get dumped onto people, or onto kids, or they get forgotten, or they're told, knock off your bank, get back to work, get on to what you were doing. So yeah, I was just telling them it's going to be fun to talk about our morning routines, what a morning routine was for you and for me, and how old you were when these routines started officially.
My first memory is 3. I was 3 years old because I had a birthday party in Incom, because my mom was working in Incom.
And would you say that there were a few pictures that you had? For me, it's like I always had memories similar to that, where like I think one of my earliest memories was when I was 3 years old. I remember being in my mom's dorm at the time with my brother and my sister, but I remember I also just remember a little bit before I was shipped off to the ranch. I hadn't turned 4 yet. I was almost 4, but I remember the Vivian Jenner, the teacher, the supervisor, giving me like a little cute care package, and it was like a little mirror and a brush, and she was like, look, and now you can take care of yourself. Like, and I was like, oh, I was like so like honored just to have the anyways. So I remember
just to have a possession.
I felt that whatever I was being given this little bag for was like, oh, look, you're finally made it to an adult. And I was like 3. Or like, now you're big enough to be able to hold on to these little gadgets, this brush and this mirror.
I got on my 3rd birthday, I got nail polish.
On your 3rd birthday?
I remember that because I didn't know what it was, and I was super like, and
did you
I had never seen nail polish before.
Were you waiting for it to dry? Did you know you had to wait for your to dry? Who gave it to you?
My mom.
And she said, here, this is called nail polish?
No, she handed me the present. I unwrapped it. As I unwrapped it, I pulled out the 3 nail polishes, and I'm like just staring at it, looking at her, staring at it, looking at her. Like, this doesn't look like a toy. You know,
I'm like, at 3 years old, that seems okay. It seems like she just grabbed something out of your drawer. Here you go.
Right? Why couldn't you give me a stapler? At least I could throw it or something.
Because you might staple your fingers.
So, no, it was my mom's way of trying to get me to be a little bit more girly.
Because
I was always playing with the kids, and she'd put me in a dress, and I'd be like climbing a tree, like not caring. There were people below me walking, and I'm like, yeah, climbing a tree. No, I didn't care. Like, I could have been showing everybody the goods, and I didn't even care.
So, okay, so breakfast. Morning routine breakfast. So we covered the volunteer fucking vulture ministers. That's what I call them. The vulture ministers.
I like that.
Yeah. Although that's slightly an insult to the vulture.
Right. But the vulture does pick, meat off the bones.
And the vulture is very powerful at times, can be, if you are not smart with the vulturing.
Yep. We got Pearl.
Pearl, howdy.
I see everybody saying, hey, Pearl.
Good. So morning routines into breakfast, right? So I would
into breakfast directly. And
everybody in the outside world had a whole, like, their breakfast would either be, at what time? Like when I was going to school or high school or this. I lived here and we did this. But like people in the outside world, their norm is to assumingly have a breakfast. Like that's whatever that is, a quick bowl of cereal. I didn't even have breakfast. I didn't have my smoothie. Like that to me seems like a normal, like
breakfast now.
American kind of thing. Right.
But now, okay, you brought up cereal. I didn't know what cereal was. Like, until I got out, I did not know what cereal was, because at Pack Base, I didn't know it was cereal. Like, when people would like have granola, I didn't know that was cereal.
Granola? Okay.
Like, I didn't know that was also considered cereal. I thought that was the only thing that we can put in our yogurt to make it have some flavor. You know, that and the honey.
So
I've never had cereal before.
At the Ant Ranch, we had the 5-gallon bucket of yogurt. Mm-hmm. And then they would dunk a whole little thing, bloop, bloop, of honey. And then we were like drooling at our mouths, like, oh my God, save some yogurt for me. Okay, say, like, it tasted as good as ice cream. Like, we were just like, but it was for breakfast, and there was just a certain amount every time. So
it was one spoonful.
And oh, how dare, oh my God, people would be so angry if one of the adults forgot the honey.
Yeah,
that was like our only, like, little things like that were so satisfying, like having honey in the yogurt. Oh, Like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
Like, okay, so I
Because
had
there
never
was
had
no
the
like,
maple
oh,
syrup.
here, there wasn't like, oh, put some blueberries and raspberries and,
No.
no, it wasn't like that. There was
Fruits?
no like, oh, here's some other options you can do to flavor up that plain yogurt.
Or occasionally you'd have bananas. You'd have bananas, and depending on what time you got to the org, was which bananas
Yep.
were left.
This is true. If you, latecomers may have trouble getting ration. That was in the policy letter. If you come late, you might not get your share.
You might not get anything.
Right. Or the bananas would be gone, or they'd be like the old one, and you have to cut out some of the things. But I do remember enjoying the granola and milk and putting the banana. If I put the banana in the milk, I thought, like, look, life is actually good. I need, those times when I'm dramatizing and feeling upset, I really need to just be, like, look, we have this amazing real granola and milk and banana. And it was the same thing for 10 years. For breakfast, it was eggs, oatmeal.
Not good oatmeal. So before someone says, oh, you could have had some amazing oatmeal.
No, it's just plain oatmeal. But again, you're lucky if you got the honey or something in there.
Yep.
Otherwise, you'd be fighting over the butter. There was little butter cubes. So we're always like, you have a butter? Oh, that was my butter. It's my butter. It's my butter. So we're trying to put the butter in the, oatmeal to make it taste good. Now I love me extra butter in the oatmeal.
Hey, I still remember when we didn't have brown sugar, and then all of a sudden people introduced brown sugar.
I thought that was one of the things when I went to Clearwater when we joined the Sea Org. I thought, oh my God, this is what being an adult, like this is what being in a Sea Org is.
Yep.
I was like, oh, wow, I can have brown sugar. It took me a while to even start using the brown sugar because I was sort of afraid. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I still had this like adult frame of mind of like, oh, either that's not good for me or that's only good for the adults who are used to being bad with the sugar. I don't know. Like, yeah, that was one of the things. Another thing was just going to the canteen internally in the internal canteen during the breakfasts and being able to, or the lunches and the dinners, like during, that was also considered our break. It was considered our payday. Oh my God. How many people went from getting their pay and then walking straight down to the canteen and spending half of their meal break half of their paycheck during their meal break on random snacks and tampons, and maybe you needed a shaver, and your paycheck is $47 a week, right? If you're upset and you're ethical enough and nobody else ordered that your pay is docked or something.
Yeah, or unless you're on lower conditions. If you're on lower conditions, you're not getting anything.
You're not getting any pay.
So before someone says kind of, they save it for you. No,
they don't. Not when you're in lower conditions. It's called docked pay. And it means that you don't, on certain accounts, if you're in lower conditions, you do not get that pay at all.
That's right.
Which happened to me often. I was literally in lower conditions for like 2 years one time. I was like, just forget about getting out of these lower conditions until I get removed from post. I was just like, remove me from my post.
Put me somewhere else. I don't care where. At this point, like, I will go to housekeeping. I will go to janitorial.
I would literally, that's where I was. But then when they put me on housekeeping, they said, you're going to be a cleaner at the Fort Harrison Hotel. I was like, you fucking bitch. I immediately just got so mad because imagine my whole life has been inside the Sea Org and inside, at the ranch. And then I left the ranch and came to Flag and then was put in HCO, and then I go to CMO, and then I did all these programs. And the reason I get demoted from CMO is not because of my work ethic or any of that. It was because I was flirting and creating a 2D problem with the public and me, right? Some problem. The problem was that I'm underage and that it's my fault that I was flirting with this guy, this public. So it's just like the whole time, it's just like, yeah, everything's so going down all the way to like then being like put in dishwashing. So then they put you always, right? How many times did you get sent go to dishwashing? No
Many
matter what.
times.
Yeah,
I'm
no matter.
phenomenal at peeling potatoes, everybody. Like, let me tell you, I can peel that shit and I will sit there and be like, and I will amaze you with my skills.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
saying,
can't
I peeled enough potatoes.
Yep, cracking eggs, same thing. Did you have to do like big buckets of cracking the eggs for everybody? Yep, like
Did you get good at doing it with both hands? Yes, I
Yep.
did.
And did you get two with two in both hands?
No. The most I got was the one each and the
That was easy. I was working on the two. At
now I
one
gotta
point,
work on the two.
yeah, then you're cracking four. Well, when are you gonna ever be needing to know how to crack four eggs into a bucket ever again in your life if you're not back in the Sea Org?
True. I'm never
Unless you're literally making buckets of eggs for a rescue, like the fire situation where they need buckets of eggs for breakfast or something in the morning for a situation. Like that's literally like, and underage as a child, definitely. I was doing that all the time underage as a child. I was like, oh, look at her go. Look at how great she is.
Yeah. Child labor laws? What are you talking about? Those did not exist to us.
Sorry. Child labor laws, whatever. And not only did they not exist, they also were like, it was a privilege to go to the gold base and work at the galley, or it was a privilege to go help out the executives get their food on time during the fires. It was a privilege if they sent the children out to literally to even help in the dishwashing. It was a privilege. Everything was a privilege if you went to Gold Base from the Int Ranch, or even if you came from the Pack Ranch. It was like, oh, it was a privilege. Like, oh my God, you're going to the Int Base or you're going to the Int Ranch. It was always a privilege. And then you get there and it's like a jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're being watched.
Looks like prison in there.
So part of the breakfast thing, or meals, we should say, just any meals, there was also, would you say that in general, in your experience in being in the Sea Org and in the Cadet Org and in any kind of Scientology kind of frame of organization, they always had the same meals. Every day was a different meal, but like every week it was kind of like the same repetitive cycle of meals, whether it was chicken.
Then it would be, absolutely.
Yeah, it would be this.
It was for breakfast. It was eggs. Sometimes you got eggs and potatoes. But it was always eggs. It was toast that was really messed up, and then yogurt. They had oatmeal out. But again, you had to ration. Like, take a small spoonful. Don't be greedy, because the people around you need to eat. And
especially when executives behind you breathing down your back.
Yeah, you've got to move.
Hey man,
you just got to move.
How much are you taking? You got to save some for others.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking A. So yeah,
go ahead. I was that asshole.
So yeah, the portions were super small. For Clearwater, there was no such thing as bacon.
No, I don't remember bacon.
I mean, that would just be like, no, that bacon would be gone. Like, no, it would like, no. That's what I mean. No. They definitely didn't have normal things that, like in terms of buffet, that maybe they had it at Gold Base. I would have to ask. I don't remember Gold Base really even it was more just like quick, things that they can pour the buckets of eggs, scramble them up. Oh, good. And then hash browns. Oh, and then on certain days you were lucky if there was something fun added to the meal. But other than that, it really was just like eggs, oatmeal, granola, yogurt.
Mm-hmm. Or you can purchase your own.
Yeah, and then that was it. Like maybe some orange juices in some weird containers, and hopefully there was enough milk. They were doing them in those big milk bags. They would come in and boom, they would be like big Altadena milk bags or whatever that.
Yeah, there was milk bags, but they had the container, and so it was labeled milk, and it was right next to coffee.
Yeah.
And so when that got low, they replaced it. But yeah, it was just a little thing you had to lift up, and the cups were like.
Yeah, so I'd be like drinking one big cup there and then fill it up again at like 14 years old, like so excited that I was allowed to drink my own milk without asking or like sharing with 8 other kids on a cadet table?
Someone asked ketchup. I
Ketchup.
remember ketchup. Because
Ketchup.
people used to put ketchup on their eggs, and I thought it was so gross as a kid. It looked like a bloody massacre.
Yeah, they did always have, you know, those little table things where they have like, you know, pepper, ketchup, da da da. They did condiments. They did have like that there sometimes. It just depends. And always CMO and RTC always got the better of things first, and then it went down. They would eat first and then it goes. So if things ran out because CMO needed that, then it was just, that's just the way it is. CMO gets theirs first, then it goes down the organization board of superiority.
Mm-hmm. Goes down the org board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, somebody asked, could you get seconds? And I was thinking like, it wasn't really, you're just supposed to like eat where you're going to eat. And then like you would just feel sort of guilty going up to get seconds when there's already still like 100 other staff members, like still getting their, like waiting for their plate to get the first meal, you know, to get their first meal. So it's just, everything just feels so controlled and judgmental. Even when you're eating, it feels like you're always being watched. Or if you do take a little too much of something, you feel sort of guilty.
Yeah. The only time I remember seconds is when my boss put me on that stupid diet that it was like zucchini soup and one day, and then the next day it'd be like a hamburger and 2 slices of tomatoes, like on this weird diet that was LRH approved because I was too big for my boss, you know, at my size 12 back then.
Yeah, and of course, L. Ron Coward definitely had
0 weight on him.
But
0.
and not only that, but also like major credentials to be telling anybody what diet they should be on.
Yeah, because the beef and barley for your baby.
Oh,
Brilliant. Brilliant,
yeah,
guys. I'm so glad I'm alive. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Someone asked, did we drink coffee, or what age did we start drinking coffee?
I started drinking coffee at in Clearwater. When I was like 13, I started, you know, just being around all the Sea York members. Everybody drinks coffee in the Sea York. That's what it seemed like to me. Everybody.
Yeah, and I don't think I think I was like 14.
Yeah, I was
when
like
I first tried coffee.
And then it was like, ooh, I finally got paid. I finally got paid that $47. And then you're like, maybe I paid so-and-so back and now I'm finally caught up and I have $15 left. And you're like, oh, and paydays, or you're like, oh, and paydays in 2 more days. Okay, maybe I'll waste $6 on go walking quickly during my 30-minute meal break. Depends if it was cut in half. I wrote this down in case you didn't finish your work in time. The meal break doesn't extend. You still go back. You eat as fast as you can, and then you're at muster. At the end of every meal break is a muster. Mm-hmm. There has always been a muster, which is like the group gathering, and you're standing at attention, military style, and they're
in
like
the cafeteria.
Yep, and they're like, line up, you know, 10 hoot, and everybody stands at attention. Report. Here, sir. Missing so-and-so accounted for. They're in session. Thank you, sir. All the way down through every line in the muster, in the group. And then the executive comes up and talks and, okay, and, you know, and like does this whole thing after every meal. So not only are you eating your meal, you're knowing, oh, God, I'm going to have to do we're going to muster up here. Okay, we only have the whole time you're eating, you're looking at the time, the watch.
Yeah, you're staring at your phone, like your phone. You're staring at your watch, and you're sitting there like, because for me, I smoked, so I was like, and then ran outside, had a cigarette, like literally was like crazy, because now I'm like, did I give myself a chance to breathe? And then darting back inside to make it in time for muster. And if I was late, I was, it was,
I know a lot of people, lower conditions, or it depends literally what executive was there that day. Like, get her on the meter now. If she thinks this is okay, then she thinks other things okay. Find out her withholds. Like, I could just see Jenny DeValk and fucking Angie
Mhm.
Blankenship. Like, you're fucking like, speed it up. Go to ethics now. Go get a meter check. Just something so fucked up. They did that shit
Yep.
all the fucking time. So yeah, a breakfast is not that. Okay, so not only that, at the breakfast table, let's talk about when we were kids in this situation. At the table, would you say in the hall or whatever you would call it, in the staff eating area, how many people would be seated at your table?
When I was
On
a
average.
kid, when I was a kid, my mom would sit with me in what she called the regular section. Little did I know it was just another division, but she called this the regular section. I was like, okay, so there'd be like 16, 20 people, like all squished into the chairs. Like,
Yeah. Oh, wow. In like one long, like the longer table.
yeah, the long tables.
Okay.
Those long tables. Almost
I
like they
remember
have in
those-
school,
Yeah.
but in
depending
worse
what
condition.
school.
Yeah, depending on what school you go to. But other than that, my mom sat at the executive table and I had to sit by myself.
Okay, great. And then as you got older, when did you ever sit by org or by division or was there any like major assigned sitting for you?
Yeah, I sat with Div 7.
Sorry. Oh, my sweetie. I just accidentally bumped Foxy's face. Div 7, right? At your own table, right, though?
Yep. Where our meals were dropped off first. Yeah.
So, because you were, bougie, you were...
HCO CC Network.
Describe what that is. HCO CC
So
Network.
Hubbard's Communication Office, Celebrity Center International. So Celebrity Center, I'm sure it's been explained many times, but we'll explain it again. You have the Manor Hotel, then you have Celebrity Center, then you have CC Network. So CC Network is Celebrity Center Network. So that's CC Nashville, CC Dusseldorf, CC Vienna, CC Paris, CC London, CC Nashville, CC Portland, which some of these have closed. But our responsibility was to basically handle all different orgs or all different celebrity centers and make sure that the LRHCom was doing what she was supposed to do.
Which is like crazy, because if anything happens in any organization, that's like a celebrity center in Paris. Like, so for example, who would you have dealt with in Paris? CC Paris.
Oh God, what was her name? It's been 20 years, but I remember it was her.
When I asked, I was thinking of that singer chick. Is she a singer? No, I'm thinking of some other chick. She's like this small Italian or something, and she was like, "Happy birthday to you, Ron!" Like crazy. I don't know, some fucking crazy. I forget her name, but
all I know is that like I would have to call them, and then I would talk to anybody and make sure that certain messages got back, because I was the LRHCom's bitch, as I put it. I was the EPFIC. I was the, in charge of recruitment. My dog's about to bark.
Again.
Right. And my job was basically whatever she needed, whether it was something from the president's office, or it was something doing for the president's office, or whether it was doing like staying up all night to talk to CC Vienna. Didn't matter. I was in charge of that. I was her personal assistant.
So you're talking to them in terms of like, did you get this program target done, or are you saying?
Did you get all the pictures that you're supposed to show proof that this is up? Did you get this picture to us showing that you completed this many people? Where's your documentation? Where's your evidence? You have not submitted your evidence this is not a good stat. You need to redo your statistics.
Is that how you talked?
Oh, I was nasty.
Were you always like, this is not okay?
No, I was more like, this is not okay. This is unacceptable. Like, are you mentally handicapped?
Okay.
But I would say the other word. I was rude. I was, now looking back, I'm like, man, I was ruthless. Someone should have punched me in the throat. Because nowadays, if I'm a totally different person than who I was. But who I was, my goal was getting to gold. Like, that's where I was recruited. That's where my dad was. My goal was getting me to gold. And if I needed to be someone's gopher bitch,
that's fine. Yeah.
Rochambeau.
Yeah, I was like, just make me do the thing, whatever it is, the thing to get me to the position. So I'm there so that I can be happy. Whatever that, she has to go through all this gruesome. Okay, put me through it. And then can I get there? Like, I was always like, what's the fucking issue? Put me where I'm going to know. I'm going to tell you I'm going to be good at this position. And so wait, for you, what was it that you wanted to do or were you expecting to do when you got to gold?
When I was a kid, I wanted to sing at gold.
Sing?
That was my overall goal.
Wow, Liz. So were you like, they can teach me, they can do all that? I'll like, you're like, I'm going to be a performer. I'm going to, is that how?
I just wanted to sing at gold and be at gold with my dad.
Wow.
I didn't care what position they put me in. But originally when I was a kid, I wanted to sing. Like, I love music. We
would have been buddies. As kids, we would have been buddies.
Hey, if my dad had taken responsibility for me, then I would have, instead of leaving LA, I would have gone to the Pack Ranch.
We would have, that's so crazy, the Int Ranch.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's so wild. We would have been cute buddies. Rika, I sent you a birthday present. I almost want to yell out right now what it is because she's going to piss her pants. Just kidding. She's not going to piss her pants. It's just so cute.
We have 3 star things. And I don't know who's going through starring, but I think Heather is starring everything.
I can't do anything. I have taken all this out of my hands. Well, I only can control what's on my live stream. I'm just connecting both of our live streams because it's yours and I love chatting with you and I love when you set these things up. They're so fun. And also I love that we already talked about a bunch of the things like cutting off the meal times and all that and using our literally guys meal times, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which was every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you missed it, there wasn't like, go back, that's okay. Go back, eat something real quick and come back. There's no such thing as that. It's like, well, you missed breakfast, you better eat a bigger lunch. Know, like, or you better.
But don't take too much. Don't take too much.
Don't be out of
you're putting yourself in lower conditions or out exchange.
Yeah, because you're being out ethics, because you're being unhealthy, because in my opinion, in my judgmental Scientology opinion, you're eating too much. And so therefore, you're being out ethics toward your first dynamics by overeating. And so therefore, if you're committing overts on yourself, you're committing more overts on the organization. And therefore, you must go get security checked now.
And they're so much fun. It's better than proctology visits, guys.
You're going to feel super clean after you're done with that. You won't feel so dirty anymore.
So the stats I see, West US, if
oh
for
my
you
God.
having to experience that, I'm going to say I'm sorry.
The dreaded phone calls from the aboves, or like, okay, guys, what's the stats? You're like, you would be one of those phone calls. Would you be one of those? Oh my goodness.
I was that person that called that would make, like, if I talk nice, I got put in lower conditions. If I talked like this, then I got put in lower conditions. But if I talk like this, and I say, listen to what is coming out of my mouth, then all of a sudden, I'm not in lower conditions. So I started talking to everybody like that.
That's right. Yeah. So in Scientology and in the Sea Org, it's even I find a lot of Scientology parents start talking to their children like that because they're going like, oh, well, if the Sea Org's so great, and this Sea Org member who just audited me, who's so amazing, who spent their, is dedicating their lives to doing this, is sitting here like telling me, teaching me how to behave just through my own actions, then they start treating their own children like this. And this is the children of people, just public kids that are outside of their Scientologists, but they're doing regular world stuff. So they normalize it from inside, showing that, oh, look, Sea Org members who clearly dedicate, they're already doing something unimaginable, joining a fucking Sea Org billion-year contract. That's already unimaginable to the outside world. That's like not like, and yet here is an organization where they have people signing billion-year contracts, which is an actual thing. Like, you cannot be in the Sea Org without signing. Let me be very clear. You cannot be in the Sea organization without signing a billion-year contract. You cannot be in the Sea organization without going through extensive security checking, interrogation, mind controlling, manipulative, blackmailing, filmed camera recording sessions that they call auditing.
Yeah, you'd have to
be in the
complete
Sea Org.
your intro courses, and then right after your intro courses, right before you start staff, you've got to go through a SEC check.
Yeah, you cannot be in any Sea Org position at all, even if you're in there being a clean freaking anything. Hi, honey. You cannot be in the Sea Org. You're not allowed to be in the Sea Org if you have, what was I saying? I forgot.
You can't be in the Sea Org if you
without signing the billion. Oh yeah, that's another thing. You cannot join the Sea Org if you there's many things. You can't if you were ever a government spy or something, like work
related to or connected in any which way to a government agency, including a police officer.
Yes, and in any form, exactly. And you can't have done LSD or any major psychotropic drugs, I guess, or whatever. LSD specifically, L. Ron Hubbard says. I'm sure he was very clear for that, for a reason. How would L. Ron Hubbard make such a firm, definite policy about LSD if he had never tried LSD?
I'm pretty sure it's because he tried it and he didn't like it, and said,
it was like, if anybody did LSD, they're going to be unprogrammed from all of this hypnotic stuff I'm putting them through.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're not allowed to join the Sea Org if you've done LSD and stuff. Apparently, it's stored in your
now, or have you ever been a homosexual?
Yes. You may not join the Sea Org if you are the gay.
Yes, it is one of the questions. La questions in la section is: have you now, or have you ever been a homosexual?
Have you now, or have you ever been a homosexual?
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you don't know what the definition of the word homosexual is, which I'm pretty sure saved my life, I thought they were, when the question came up, are you or now, or have you ever been a homosexual? I literally thought they were saying like an actual, not homosexual, but just a human.
A human, like a Homo sapien.
Homo sapien. I kept thinking Homo sapien, and I was like, and so the first time I answered it was yes. And I was like, I don't understand this word though. If you're asking me if I'm human, then yes, I'm human. And she's like, oh, that's why your needle didn't float. And I was like, oh, okay. And they're like, oh, let's get a dictionary.
Yeah.
And then she gave me the dictionary, and I was like, oh shit.
So then at that time, are you like, oh yeah, so part of this is, so I'm not going to say this part in the session.
Correct. Part of me was like, oh my God, they're going to
go down that road.
Like, oh my God, they're going to find out. Oh my God, like my whole life's over. If I don't get into the Sea Org, then my parents are never going to talk to me. I'm going to get kicked out. Because here was my biggest fear. I don't know what yours was. But if you don't make it through the EPF, which some people did not everyone made it through the EPF. and that's the estate's project force.
But what do you mean if you don't make it through the EPF? A lot of people, then they would just send them back to their Scientology parents, and then
they would send them back to their
they would be back
Scientology parents. Embarrassment.
Yeah,
and
then
you
they would
had
be
to
back before
redo it. You either had to retry try again, or like for me, my mom was like, no.
Yeah.
Like, no. Like,
this is
if you don't make it, no. This is your choice. And I was like, okay. So I didn't think I had anywhere to go. If I didn't make it, then I was going to lose everybody.
Yeah, and we talked about that on earlier on Oh What a Childhood, I think part 2. We were talking about that and like all the details of what did happen when all that did go down.
Yep.
So morning routines into breakfast. What was breakfast like?
Somber.
Okay.
Like you had some people chit-chatting, you had other, but really nobody was like chit-chatting as a group. There'd be like 1 or 2 conversations here and there. But other than that, people were just
Yeah. Just a lot of loud clamping and from the forks and the eating and very like individual, and everybody sort of mostly like in the divisions, in the departments of who they knew, and like even in your mealtime, you're still talking and doing all that kind of discussing of work and topics like that of your job, your post positions. While you're eating, it doesn't really ever end. You're just constantly in a hypnotic state.
Yeah, I can honestly say that's what it feels like, a hypnotic state. Because if you're waiting for a report from someone and you go to take that first bite, and while you're taking a first bite of toast, anything, it doesn't matter. You're taking that first bite and you need a report from someone. Suddenly eating is not even worth it. Where's that report? Like, I don't care for a breakfast. Where's that report? You were to get it to me at, in the next 20 minutes. Right after muster, I want that on my desk.
Literally.
And it didn't matter, but I was mean about it. And it was like, and so, because that's also what I witnessed from my mom. Growing up in the mess hall, whether it was breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yeah. I was going to say, she would scream. Did you ever feel that, okay, this might sound weird how I'm asking. Did you ever feel, because this happened to me, did you ever feel in that position where you're like, what the fuck, where's this, you need to get this done? Was there ever a time where something happened and you felt really bad, where you were like, oh God, I think I like made that person cry too much or something?
Yeah.
That did happen.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you also, I'm sure, had the times where you had certain people, you're like, hey, thanks, man. Like you felt like really connected and like they really got
I thought
done.
So many people at Celebrity Center were my friends. I was like, like I thought so many people were my friends. And it was the instant I went on decks, it showed me just who was my friend.
So when you go on the decks, so that for me, that was like it was called like you're going on decks or you're off post or you're on route outlines. But it's so weird. They would say, oh yeah, she's on route outlines or something. They'd be like, oh, okay. But like, I'm like, that's the same thing as saying somebody's leaving. So like people would know, but you couldn't say that you were leaving. Your friends would know, but you can't talk to them because you're on route outlines. But you're not allowed to, it's a high crime to tell somebody that you want to leave the Sea Org or that you're leaving the Sea Org. You literally can get declared immediately an SP.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you were declared an SP, it didn't matter what you did. You could beg, plead, borrow, steal. It didn't matter what you did. You were losing everything.
Okay. So lunches, what was lunches like?
Lunches were a little different. A lot of times lunches were like sandwiches and not good sandwiches. Like there'd be like, oh God, what is it? Like ham a lot and not good ham. That's why I only like the honey baked ham now. Other than that, I can't stand ham.
But so you guys see, I think there was different things. Like, did they give you the turkey like in the buffet where it was like all ham, turkey, da 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 da, da and then you pick your cheese and da 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 and make it?
Yeah, there were. It was all in those metal, metal chef containers.
Yes.
But if you were late, like
it would be gone.
It'd be gone, or you'd get a slice of meat between
a lettuce and maybe a tomato. Yeah. Yeah, there would definitely, the cheese was always out.
Yeah, cheese always gone. It's like that cheese was like rockets. Like
yeah. And it was so annoying. And I felt bad when the CMO would eat and I would be looking like, because I was in CMO. I mean, I was in almost every position, literally, or in every position where I was around authority and then also the freaking scum of the earth. But I would remember when I was in CMO, we would be going and I was always like, oh, good, I got to eat. I'm so hungry. And I remembered thinking like, oh, don't, what's the word? Don't take for granted like this food. Look, you have all this food. Remember when you were an HCO or an FSO and, there wouldn't be enough food even for the EPFers. The EPFers would get like this shit on shit. And these were new Sea Org members coming into Sea Org, slowly teaching their young child brains that it's normal to have no food because you're signing this bill. You just signed up for this billion-year contract and you're starting at boot camp. So yeah, it's going to be hard. But then once you work your way up, you're going to have yummier and more amazing food. And that's what's so crazy. They did that with lunches. They did that with food. They did that with breakfast, lunch, and dinners. The higher up you were, the more guaranteed that food definitely wouldn't be an issue. But you would definitely be wondering and questioning when you're eating that meal or that bite of food. I wonder if, so-and-so is going to be done with their session in time, before the run to get the approval on those folders.
Yeah. Yeah. If you were in session during lunch and lunch ended, sorry, Charlie, you didn't eat. Like there wasn't like, hey, sorry, man, you were in session. Here's some food. Like at least it was never for me. And I was Div 7. So I would have, not to be a dickhead, but because of the position that I held, if there was going to be food held, they would have held it for me when I was in good behavior. So,
I do remember. I'm going to think on a positive note. Positive my ass. Hold on. I'm like on a positive note here. It's like silent. There was no positive note. On a positive note, happy 420. Cheers to all y'all in the chat. Thank you all for being here. I see some beautiful faces or names, I should say. But I know I've definitely seen your faces through Instagram or Facebook or pictures or support or love. You guys are amazing. I love seeing y'all here supporting us both. I was going to say, well, this kind of Marine asked this one, were you ever allowed to play games like cards and board games with others? I was going to say that there's almost like 3 different experiences. Maybe you have the same, maybe you have 2, I don't know. But the experience for me was meals at the CEO and ATA. I remember just feeling very, again, the floors, I remember very little because I was young. But I do remember just the smell of constant bleach and ammonia and cleaning materials and almost like the oatmeal and the eggs. Like you said, the pan had like green slime in them a little bit from the pan just being so petrified that like sometimes the eggs would be turning green. Like, and just slightly, but this is all just like, basic fucking care that now that we have children, or I don't, but that like learning what true care is, just taking care of another animal or taking care of another human being, even for an hour, you go, wow, this is like, there's something missing from what we were given as children. And even in Sea Org, like it's total fucking abuse 24/7. The mentality of it is abuse. But I would say, Yeah,
Go ahead.
sorry. I would say that I did feel very guilty in times where I would be eating and stuff like that. And I would save food for my sister. I would say like, oh, I'm going to save some of these. And then I would come out of the CMO table and walk over to my sister. I'm like, here you go. And she'd be like, oh, yes. And it reminded me of when my child at the ranch, when my sister would be, was the services secretary. So she was the cadet that would handle all the food and the services and things like that. And so she would handle the desserts. And so she would always sneak me cookies or save me things. And it reminded me of that. And it's just so fucking shitty that even the connection between me and my sister today has been destroyed even to that degree, because everything that even was sentimental, like something like that, like getting the dessert, was ruined because my sister can't talk to me anymore because she's disconnected. She has to act like a Scientologist. Otherwise she's not fully being a Scientologist. But yeah, so desserts and shit like that, there were certain pockets of things that were so memorable. And so like, even today I eat a chocolate chip cookie and I'm like, just not quite as good as they were to me when I was a child eating the dessert. And eating
They were delicious, and I'm sure they tasted like.
They were really
like
good. They were handmade. They were made fucking handmade cookies in the bakery from the galley. So like, yeah,
right?
They were really good.
But I don't remember board games as a kid. The first time I remember a board game, I think I was 9 years old. And my grandma was trying to teach me how to play Scrabble. And, but I don't remember board games.
We did some board games, but it was always, let me put it this way, guys. There was never, and hi, Maureen, you guys are so sweet. And thank you, Maureen. I don't know if you saw the live where we were thanking you for our Canadian hats, and Ashley got her Canadian hat and things like that. So thank you again. She's a sweet angel babe. Very loving, caring person. And your gifts are so fun. What was I saying?
Gifts are so fun. Board games.
Board games. So yeah, whenever we were playing a board game, it felt always, because our childhood the whole time, even at the Ant Ranch and then going to Clearwater, was always in the Sea Org and always being watched. It always felt like a board game was only sneaky or had to be done quick, or we may not have time to finish it, so go quick. And so it was like, come on, don't interrupt. And so if it did happen, it was so fast that it was considered like, oh, we're just playing a game because we're taking a break from the post so that we could reset and get back on post on our break time. But it was never this never happened. This only happened if you fucking were a nerd and you had a day off and you're like, let's go play a board game out by the beach or something, like by Clearwater Beach or down by whatever, or if you were at the bosun's party, or the thing they do once a year where whatever it is, Sea Org Day, maybe you would be playing cards. But no. Or if you were sick, the only time you would also play games like this maybe is if you were sick in isolation because you were so fucking literally had a fever or something, and then as you got over that and you're starting to feel better and your temperature's dropping, you're allowed to play board games and stuff to keep your mind going so that you're ready to go back on post, back on the job once you're given permission to go.
So here's the quick question. If you don't want to answer, it's completely up to you. But here's the question from Stephen Miller.
Who is Stephen Miller? Who is Stephen Miller? Just kidding. I am going to reveal the tire slasher, even the footage I have, where I'm waiting on some other footage. And then once I feel confident and also confident enough where this person would be arrested and all that's done, then that's what I'm going to do. But yes, I will. I can't wait to show you any footage that I do have already. And I am this person, if it is who I think it is, this person is going to go to jail.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure of it. I'm going to make sure of it because this isn't the first sort of, if it is, and I don't want to jump to any conclusion. I'm waiting for the actual visual footage. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I will show it to you. So yes.
So, Rika, I've seen people demonstrate auditing, but I haven't seen a demonstration of a sec check. I always think of getting patted down. I wish it was patting down.
That's easy. Patting down, that's easy.
Yeah, it's a series
I
with
would
quite
say
a few questions.
Yeah, a sec check is very much more direct. A sec check would be pulling information directly about something or pulling withholds because you're trying to leave the Sea Org, right? So mine was a tailor-made sec check to me. And that meant like, so they go in and they do the same thing. Thank you. Are you sashable? Great. Did you eat? Great. Are you well fed? Great. Did you take off your shoes? Hey, can somebody let me do this? Ban user DOA's poop bucket. Fuck you. I did it. Sorry. Nice try. Not here.
Okay.
I did it before any of the mods. I feel strong. Anyways, what was I saying?
Sec checks.
So yeah, an auditing session is more of like more of a step on the bridge to total freedom, but a sec check can be done anytime to anybody at any point of the bridge, which means it's similar. It feels like you're going into session, right? You're going in because you're locked into a room. You're still held under your will and all this. Can't move until you can't move the cams around. They're using the meter to find your crimes. They're using the meter to get your withholds. So you go in and they're making sure you're well fed and ready to be able to endure a long interrogation. And then they do the same similar things. You feel like you're in a session. It's the same exact mechanism, the same exact theory, like the same tools, the same way of commands and acting and behaving.
I had to pop this one up because it's hilarious. Where's the betting site for the slasher? I got bets to place. So Pearl is saying she suspects certain people.
Okay. I feel like obviously Pearl's being fun and amazing. I do. This shit is not okay. And I want the person to know. I know you're watching this. I almost said the fucking thing. Oh my God, I'm glad I didn't say it.
Okay, let's change the subject before
hold on. You will be caught and you will be called out extremely in the community, and I will show the footage. And how fucking dare you? How fucking dare you that you did this? How dare you think that you fucking are allowed to do this to anybody? You're disgusting. You're fucking disgusting. That's what I have to say.
Okay. All right, let's grab this one. Helping Karma.
Aw, hugs to the little yous that didn't get the nurturing that you deserved and were worthy of. Thank you, Helping Karma. Thank you. Zeus, there's Ashley's favorite friend. Hi, Astral. Exactly, fucking 100%.
I'm letting him out. Hold on, before he loses it.
Astral, let's make some music together. Let's make some music together.
It expired on the Yes.
Pearl Snappy, thank you so much for being awesome. Want to give a few shout outs. I want to fucking again thank everybody who helped me with the tires. Your guys' love, the people who sent, I swear to God, the people who sent the amounts you sent, I really appreciate you. It melted my heart. I'm afraid to even say some of the names on the PayPals and the Venmos that I was sent, and I want you to know, I see you, and I appreciate you. And it literally, as a community, it got me through. It made me realize, dang, wow, I really can get through things with, it's not even with, it gave me the support of like, look, people are here supporting me, and I'm having this issue, and this issue is being solved because people support me and what I'm doing. And that felt really, really good. And
hold on.
It feels that's okay. I don't want, let's not put that up. And that so wait, Liz, I'm trying to say something. this community was so supportive and loving, and it really made me want to be there even more for the other people in the community. And I think that's what's so great about just all of us, like for the people who are helping other people, and this person doesn't like that, but okay, that's great. We're all helping each other, and we're all helping people that are want to get the truth out, and they want to be in a world, they want to exist and operate in between their friends and the world and their personal lives and everything in a way that they don't have to feel suppressed, where they don't have to feel like not heard, and not like they have to like stop speaking a certain way or talking about a certain thing. That's just so ridiculous. So yeah. Anyways, didn't mean to take it over, Liz. Go ahead.
No, hey, I got dogs barking for no apparent reason. I got a mom that's yelling at me.
They were agreeing with it. The mom is yelling?
Yeah. So, okay. Let me explain.
Oh. Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, it's my fault. It's totally my fault. My mom went to the store, bought a gallon of milk. Okay, no big deal. Except for the fact that when she got home and I went to get some milk, it had expired 2 days earlier.
Not cool.
Not cool. So
that's
she bought
that's a rare
milk.
That's
it
a
happens.
Rare thing. Yeah.
It does happen. It's rare, but it does happen.
Yeah.
And so because it was expired, I left it out on the counter all day on accident. I meant to put it out and dump it out, and I forgot. And so I immediately dumped it out.
So you don't have milk?
Correct. My mom's like, we needed milk for my recipe.
Well, look,
why didn't you check if there was milk first?
Hey, Liz, I'm with your mom on this one. I'm always with you, but I'm with your mom on this one. Although I'm with you a bit more because you did make a point. I would have laid out all the ingredients in front of me first before I started.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
Yeah,
but either way, I would have been like, well, where the fuck is the milk?
Yes. Free the milk.
Free the milk. Free the milk. Give it to me. Okay, so Liz Arunskis. I actually had a question about, so we got to lunches. This was good.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say something specific about dinners.
Chicken
and
pot
all
pie.
of these in our chicken pot pie, all of these things in our meal breaks, as they said, are only 25 minutes. There was no such thing as like a 30-minute meal break unless there was some special occasion specifically that had to do with Scientology, possibly. Like, for example, like Sea Org Day. They would say, okay, we're having 45-minute dinner. It would normally be at dinner time. It would be around dinner time. There are other things that would happen. Milk. Other things that would happen. I love milk so much. Okay, enough. Other things that would happen is birthday cakes. People would celebrate cookies and milk. I'm like, I want cookies and milk right now. But they would celebrate their birthdays in the dinner time. So that would have to happen. It's not like all of a sudden you have a 45-minute meal break now. No, not special like that. That's only for maybe sometimes Christmas dinners. Like
Christmas occasionally, if your org was in good standing.
Right. And it would be one time. It's not like, around the Christmas holidays, it's now 45-minute meals. No. And sometimes, most of the times, the orgs were always in trouble, like, or in a lower condition, or they in a low condition, like danger or non-existence. Like, oh God, we're in emergency again. And so, like, people, it was always like, all right, that's it. No, if you don't get your shit together, there's not going to be a fucking holiday. So they wouldn't, like, even then they would still use whatever deprived holiday Sea Org members had and still take advantage and make them beg more for people to buy Scientology courses on the bridge, this false fucking way to freedom, beg more for them to have to donate their time and money on the bridge, and then get a little bit of the Christmas feel of the holiday, to like in the dinner time that you would be eating. And maybe
Yeah.
they might put some gravy sauce on top of the potatoes and the meat. And yes, they might try to put the dry turkey. Always had dried fucking turkey. I've never.
Yeah, it was not good. It tasted well. Honestly, it tasted like my grandma's, and my grandma's was burnt and just
Yeah.
like chewy, where you needed gravy.
I
But it
mean, I
tasted like
didn't.
that, but we didn't get gravy.
I always just assumed like, and I'm sure turkey is a little bit drier than most meats because it's, I don't know, bigger or whatever. I don't know.
Not
I
if
don't
it's done
know.
right.
Exactly. And Michael at literally Michael, I think that's still his channel. Literally made me the best freaking turkey. I just couldn't believe it. I cried a tiny bit in the first bite, like in shock. My heart was like, this is so juicy and delicious.
Mhm.
This wasn't just slapped down like in a pan, like, oh, here's some drippy sauce. Like, I don't know. It was so unbelievable. Shout out to Michael giving me all these fun little recipe tips that I keep knocking off and making my own Jellotology and cooktology in my kitchen.
I've been watching your lives.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember cooktology.
Gotta go back. I'm starting to do. I did Jello. How to open a pomegranate. Bum, 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 bum.
The
Watch 'em.
slit.
If you go back, I think it's like 5 videos back on the live from this one, guys. You're gonna see Jellotology live, Lara FM Jellotology Artology.
Okay. I like that because you wanted to. You were telling me because I'm going back to school. You wanted to learn like the difference and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I love that you're showing the cooking because realistically, it's not like we had someone going, "Hey, you want to learn how to cook?"
No, not at all. And it was like you shouldn't even have time for that, you know?
No.
Everybody who's tried the Jello loved it. I mean, as you can see, if you've been even honorable enough, I think there's only been 5 people that have tried the Jello. I think it's Jen, Scott, Ashley, Sandra, me. Who else has tried the Jello? Dan Walks LA.
I'm a little jealous. I miss Dimples.
Everybody loved it. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
I miss Dimples.
Aw. Okay, so yeah.
Gabe.
And Gabe, oh my God, Gabe has tried the Jello.
DOA was letting you know.
So it would only happen during the dinner times in our meal in the Sea Org and Scientology lunch breaks. It would be lunch break, like, oh, are you gonna have a cake tonight for your dinner? You know, for dinner. And the cake and the presents, whether it was Christmas or somebody's birthday in the Sea Org, anything exciting would happen during the dinner time. And that's how it happened even in the Cadet Org at the Ant Ranch. Is that how it happened for you when you were younger? Was it always dinner time was like the time to do the presents and all that? Or what was it? Was you got home and did it privately with your mom or what?
When I was
And I don't mean I need to change the word home because why are we calling it home?
Because that was our home.
I guess that was our home.
Yeah,
I was thinking it wasn't a home, so why are we calling it a home?
It's not a home. It's
Right,
not the
but
home to
that
the definition of the word home,
Okay.
but that was where we laid our head at night with the la cucarachas.
Sí. No bueno.
So Christmas, my mom sent me to stay with my grandma. I was to watch no TV. I was to watch basically my behavior if it was reported that I watched TV. And my grandma was not going to ever report on me, but that was a big thing that my mom had always said. Every single trip up to my grandma's, she would be like, you are not to watch TV. Grandma will tell on you.
Wait, so was there a TV to watch something and then you were looking at it like, oh, I really want to watch something, but I'm not allowed to?
Mm-hmm. We had a TV in our house.
Ew. So when you say house, you mean apartment or a dorm?
Or dorm.
Okay, let's be clear about that.
We had a
chat
TV
doesn't
in the
have this
dorm.
visual of like a house of any degree.
No, it was in our space, if that's a better word. It's in our space.
Dorm is the correct term because you were there with other people in a building sharing literally right next
It was
door
just
from
me and
you.
my mom.
No, but next door from you was
Yeah, another
birthing
family.
dorm room full of dorms or another family or bunk beds with adults or security next door to you.
Mhm.
There were always dorms wherever we were. Did Astral, did you say you want to do music with me again? Let me just go back on the stream here. Oh, there's my honey bunny. Hi. Astral, yes. Oh, laughing. Okay, good. Astral, yes, wants to do music. This is great, Astral. Are you set up? Are you set up for music at your place, Astral? Let me know. Okay, thank you. Sorry. Yes. She's laughing.
So,
Badass bitch.
people ask why I had a TV. My great grandmother.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy. TVs were banned.
Mhm.
Literally at a certain point at the end ranch, the TVs were locked up. There was an actual lock because people like me were going in and cleaning the TV stand for way too long and watching like Fifth Element and random videos. Spice Girls. Okay, continue. Sorry.
My mom used to put it up on the top shelf. So Sasha Obolinski and I figured out a way to use like the wall. So we would almost like walk up the wall and hand it to each other to get the TV down.
Oh, I kind of remember things like that. Like, okay, well, if we want it, we have to be able to get it down.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we figured out how to maneuver and get it down, and then we got taught.
And then you'd plug it in. Oh, dang. Okay, so then you would plug it in.
Mm-hmm.
And then who would have the video? Where would it be a VHS?
I had a VHS, or I had a VCR and a TV. The TV did have the little ears that stuck up, and like the channel that came up perfectly was.
So we're all the. Channel. But so when you brought it down, are you also like picking like, okay, what movie? Everything's up there hiding, right?
Yep, all the movies that came with the VCR that my grandmother gave me.
So that was the same for us at the Int Ranch. My mother would have this small little TV that had the similar things with the little antennas and the little like where you're able to connect into direct, just put a VHS in, and we were able to watch Aladdin all the time or whatever. But Tom and Jerry, because she could get, the connection. And we'd be sitting there eating the cookies from Saturday night before, because this is when they allowed us to go from the Int Ranch to the Devonshire, which is basically the dorms for the Gold Bay staff, where your father lived, Bob Ferris.
Yep.
And I'm sure, I think I actually remember Bob Ferris living at the Kirby as well, because the majority of the estates people from Gold Base lived at the Kirby.
Yep.
Like even security kind of lived at the Kirby. Anyways, what was I getting to?
I don't know.
Gold Base.
TVs.
Videos. So Tom and Jerry. Yeah. So my mom from the dessert Saturday night, when we'd come in, so there was one point when they were allowed to pick us up from the Int Ranch on Saturday nights and bring us to their dorms after they were done cleaning and they did all their Saturday night White Glove or whatever. And then, so they would get the run to the base at like 11. It was like so insane. The van run would come to the Int Ranch at 12 o'clock at night, pick up all these kids in the middle of the night and then bring them to the Devonshire so we could sleep with our parents. My mom had these like rolled out little chairs and fun things. She tried to make it fun. And then again, that little TV with the antennas, and we would watch Tom and Jerry with salt and vinegar chips and then the cookies that came from the dessert from the night before from the Gold Base. And there was just like, I can't tell you, I still to this day love oatmeal cookies and chocolate chip cookies that don't have too much chocolate chips. Okay. And I love it. Oh my God. When they have walnuts, they would have walnuts in them.
Oh, nope. You lost me at nuts.
Sorry.
Hold on. This question just popped up real quick. I just want to grab it and then let you take over because hold on. Liz, I knew Bob, worked with him on the e-meter line back in 88 and 89. Did you know about me? I was still in Los Angeles.
Jessica LaBarber. That's insane. That's crazy. Liz, I knew Bob and worked with him on the e-meter line back in 1988 to 1989. So was Jessica, were you at Gold? Oh, she did not. Jessica, were you at Gold Base, or were you ever at Gold Base, or was just this down in the LA area only? And then my next question to that is, did you
find
ever
out real
know?
quick because my mom's knocking on the door. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, that's okay. You can go. It's okay. Bob was so nice to me. Felt like he looked out for me. Oh, that's so sweet. Yes, I was at. You were at Gold, Jessica. Do you know me at all? Do you know me? Well, I would go by Megan Anderson. I was one of the younger kids from the Int Ranch, but maybe you know my mom or dad, Phil Anderson and Diane Anderson. Oh my God, that's what I wanted to talk to Chad about and tell you guys today. I literally found out that my father, guys, my dad is not with my mother, and he's not, they are, that my father is divorced, like my mom and dad are not together, they're divorced, and that my father is married to another woman. I cannot believe this. I was digesting this I didn't find out today. I digested it and decided I was going to talk about it today. I found out 2 days ago through a random text message, through a family member, a cousin from so long ago that I haven't talked to, that was wondering if I was okay because of the fires in California. Isn't that fucking a lot? I found out that my father, and I don't know how long he's been married, so that I just felt like, oh my God, he gave up on the family already. He gave up. He doesn't give a fuck about my brother. He doesn't really give a fuck about even my sister, who's stuck in the fucking sea or stuck in Scientology. And he doesn't fucking, like, he's kind of given up on us, on being a dad. I don't know. That hit me. It was so, I don't why that bugged me so much. It was like good to know the information, but that's insane. Did you hear that, Liz?
Yeah. I can still, oops, wrong side.
No, I know.
I can still hear everything.
I knew you could. That's why I was like, can you believe that? And this was just a family member checking in on me from so-and-so. And they were saying like, oh, I didn't know if you know. First of all, that he had come to Canada to visit with his new wife. He went to Canada to visit my family with his new wife.
I'm sorry.
2 years ago. I also found out that my mom fucking definitely had breast cancer, and she definitely didn't tell me. And she purposely held that from a lot of people. I definitely also found out that my family members didn't even fucking know. They didn't even know about the fact that my mom and dad were not together until my father showed up in Canada with his new fucking wife. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring all this back right now.
It's totally okay. I found out one of the times my dad got married because I called Gold to talk to him, and he's on his honeymoon. Didn't even know he was dating someone.
Sorry,
Cool.
It's not funny. That's so fucked up.
That's how I found out.
Like honeymoon? Right. It's such it's like, I don't know. It's like cheating. It's not worse than like cheating and then somehow you figured it out because somebody said something and you're like, okay, bye. And you're like, oh my God, he's cheating on me or whatever it is, right? It's more like this is somebody that came from your blood. This is like your bloodline. And you're like, what the fuck? And I always go, Scientology does this. Scientology numbs somebody's bloodline so much that you literally forget where you came from or what you have to honor in this life. And you know, like what due diligence you can show to even your own parents in love. They're not even letting us do that by stealing our parents still to this day.
Mm-hmm.
So, you
But
know
then
what I
it's a question
also,
of how much are they stealing in accordance to how much our parents, like if our parents woke up right now, like honestly, if my dad woke up right now and called me, I'd pick up the phone. If he asked for help, I'd help him. But here's the difference.
yeah.
I don't want him in my life now. Because now I'm making the choice, not Scientology.
Wait
I'm
a
making
minute.
the choice.
Wait a minute. You say you would pick up the phone.
I
Are
would
you just saying you don't want him in your life? But
I
it
don't
might
want
happen?
him as a dad. I don't
I
want him
understand.
as a dad.
I understand, but listen to this. If he showed up at your door or called you on the phone,
I would
which
absolutely
I'm
help
being
him.
very realistic, I doubt is going to happen. And I'm saying that even not to lower your hopes. I just
No.
think that we both have to do more. We both have to go to gold base. We both have to file. We need to do stuff to get a fucking mother effing somebody that is a legal person that goes out there that says, open the gate now. This is a mandatory inspection. And these are the specific things we're looking for and to hear out of your parents' mouth to know what the situation is that they're in.
Yeah.
So,
For me, I had talked to my
and those people
psychiatrist
being
today.
fully,
Here,
sorry, yeah.
I'll explain it. So I talked to my psychiatrist today, and my
Yeah.
psychiatrist was basically like, I know that you're upset that you're not reaching out to your dad, that you're not getting him, that you don't have anything tangible.
Yeah.
Like not a person to hug, nothing. And the memories I do have of him are fading. And what's left is the empty promises and not showing up. I want to help my dad. I want to help him get out. But if he's going to be in my life, it's not going to be as my dad. It'll be as Robert Ferris.
Hey,
Because
Bob or Bob, right? Hey, Bob.
or Bob.
I mean, that's a good
Does that
thing.
make sense?
I literally
I'm making
didn't
it
think
my
about
choice
that. I
instead
didn't even
of-
think about that. I think I would be saying dad to him, but I would be being annoyed. Like, dad, no. Like, I wouldn't be enjoying the title.
Yeah, I could not give him the title of dad because for me, the word dad is like Carrie's dad. Like he showed up to her events, he cheered her on, he
Right,
supported
even
her.
through his struggles and through
Even
Carrie's
through it.
struggles. Hi, Karate, if you're there, I love you, my angel queen.
No, she won't be home for like another 7 minutes.
Dang it. Well, at least she's probably listening to in the car, I bet you.
Probably.
But
it's like with her dad, I'm never gonna get that. And once I realize that I'm never gonna get that, it's not that I don't want him out. So please don't twist my word, like not you, but please, if you're listening to this, don't twist my words. He will come out and he will be in my life, but as Robert Ferris or Bob Ferris. He's not going to be in my life as dad.
Correct. And well, whatever. I'm not going to say anything. I hope your fucking dad or Bob Ferris gets out. Period. But like, do you call your mom?
Yeah.
Okay. That's where I'm getting to. Like, I always wonder. I feel like I would be stabbing the wound, or whatever, if my dad came out and then I was like Phil Anderson, or if I was like Phil, I don't know. You're right. I'd never thought about it this far. I
didn't call
one
my
of the things,
mom until I was like 19 years old.
And then you went
like
back.
Otherwise, it was Sandy.
But when you were 19 years old, was that because you went back and you guys were working on your relationship again, or
no? She told me to call her mom.
So that was demanded. See what I mean?
She's like, "Stop it! My name is Mom." I'm like, "Okay."
I had this moment,
but that's okay.
I had this moment when I was at the ranch, and I remember thinking, "Oh no, I don't." I remember hearing one of the older or the semi-older cadets I remembered as a younger child being hidden in this fucking form of adult. I remember thinking, oh no, I love my mom and dad so much. I'm never going to stop calling them mama or mom or mommy and dad, you know, daddy. Because I just endeared it. And I was like, and even when I was, this is so sad, but even when I was in Clearwater, I remember calling my mom whenever we're talking to them on my birthday. Happy birthday. I would get the random call. My mom would be singing with her sweet, loving PR voice. And she would make me feel so fucking good, even if she hadn't talked to me all year long. You know what I mean? Like, she would just make me feel so good. And I'd be like, hi, mommy. And never went away. And that started happening when I started to get in trouble, and she had to start fixing me. Like, she had to start handling these KRs that were being written on me and things like that. And so then I started to be like, Mom, no, Mom. So Mom became my argumentative name for my mom. And it doesn't feel like, hi, Mom, or Mommy anymore at all. It feels like, Mom, you're not getting me. You still haven't ever understood this fucking abuse that you've continued to act like this communication, this normal way of us talking is normal. Like, you're constantly belittling me just in the tone of your voice. And that's normal to her. But she's not even doing it on purpose. She's like, honey, we'll talk about this outside. It's like, no, Mom, we'll talk about it right now. I'm not a fucking child. Act like an adult. You have no theater to hide behind anymore, Mother.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody to impress. We don't care about your impressions. Speak and act the fucking like, so I don't know. I literally have no idea. I did not think about it. If my father came out or my mom, I feel like I would be like, okay, this is so fucked up. But the first thing is, I feel like I would bring them immediately to like a spa, to a really good meal, a spa. I would get their nails done. I would make them feel a little joyful and loved. And then I would kind of sit down with them after a really good full meal and just start having a long talk. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and just see if there's any hope. Like the fact that they're at our door or even calling us saying we're out, that would already be halfway there. That's why I'm like, it doesn't feel like nothing's happening. And I feel like, yes, we do need to go to Gold Base and make it a camping trip or something. I don't know.
I'm actually, if I'm on a school break,
yeah,
I would be down for that. I don't know about camping
really
there, but I would, yeah.
I would cook and everything for us. Me, you, Scott, karate.
That's not a bad idea.
We can do a fun Matt. There's so many people that would join us and would love that for one or two
I know
day
Dimples would definitely do it. Pearl,
100%.
Pearl's gonna be like, you're camping?
Yeah. Well, maybe the universe will allow Pearl and everybody to come. That would be awesome.
Right. Jessica said, my mom cut me off 27 years ago after I left the SO, so I never thought that would happen. I'm so sorry for what you experienced. My mom did not cut me off. I mean, she didn't talk to me for like 6 months and then proceeds to yell at me a lot.
I feel so bad about you, Jessica. Your mom cut you off 27 years ago after you left the SO. Yeah, I never thought, first of all, my mom's a fucking coward. She never actually has spoken to me and told me, oh, I can't talk to you. She's never even emailed me or said it. She just stopped talking and then left it up for my dad to deal with me. My mom is in a way too high of a position. She's on COB's lines. So my father is the one to deal with me because he's been demoted from int base. He's been on the RPF. He's now at the PAC LA base org, ASHO, AOLA, whatever the fuck, dumb made up fucking organization. and is rotting there, literally being told you're such a bad person, you haven't made up enough amends to go back to Gold Base, to be back with his mom, and to also be on the purpose of clearing the planet in whatever extreme way. Oh, hi, honey. Honey, I also made you a moderator, Stream Wars, on my channels. I made you and Laura, your other channels, mods, so that you can get rid of all the negative trolls that seem to try to lurk your way. Get them off my lines. Anyways, yes. In the Sea Org, hi, Never In from PA. Question: in the Sea Org, were parents Sir too? Yes. Yes.
And if they were, now, here's what I was always taught. If they are there as your parent, they are their first name. So, like, if my dad showed up at Celebrity Center, which happened a lot because of his post, he would be helping people set up a lot of the filming, a lot of the different props and stuff that Gold would bring over for the event. If he was there at his post position, it's Sir, or I'm in lower conditions. If he's there as my dad, then his name is Bob.
That is so. I noticed similar things. My mom and dad weren't like executives when they're already up lines at the executive base. Yes, they're in a higher base, but they weren't executives compared to Mike Rinder, Ben Rinder's dad. R.I.P. Mike Rinder. Still, I still always feel sadness for Ben Rinder, Benjamin Rinder, who I was at the Int Ranch with. But so, for example, when Mike Rinder would come, the very few times he would come to the Int Ranch to see Ben, and Taryn Rinder, before she became an adult technically and was shipped off to Gold Base to be an executive at Int. And she had also Taryn Rinder, Mike Rinder's first daughter, who's now literally an OSA attack dog. There you go, Mike Rinder, like father, like son. I mean, no offense in your IRP, but like the cycle repeats itself. It's literally Mike Rinder was running away from this disgusting fucking magnetic, hypnotic, vile organization, blackmailing fucking organization that even drove his own daughter and son, Ben Rinder. Ben Rinder loved Mike. Oh my God, this. Ben Rinder loved his dad. And this is hard to even say with tears, because at the same time, Ben Rinder is in the position he is in right now because of Mike Rinder. And then yet Mike Rinder has been able to make a beautiful family, and Jack, and, and it's beautiful. But at the same time, this is the result of Scientology. For any result to end like this is the worst. For anybody to not be able to see their family members and go and discuss what their hurt and their upset and their disagreement is, just based on L. Ron Hubbard's vile policy, and to not be able to handle that, it just seems like the opposite thing of even why Scientology ever existed, if it was a good thing. So it's just like, when did Scientology ever become vile? Scientology never is vile. It's always just, it was the greatest good. Oh, it was the PR for Scientology. It's never like, dang, we were vile. We fucking handled this disgustingly. We purposely put all these people in this position and situation legally so that they would be fucked when they finally got to their senses out of this hypnotic cult, let alone the children like us, who have to contemplate losing friends if we speak out about something or ask a question that seems very harsh. And we're losing friends, and we're going, oh my God, did I fuck up again? Am I going back to that childhood fuck up where I always fucked up? Am I being sent back in that hole by a friend that we're supposed to be looking up to? Anyways, that's all. I'm sorry. Heather
had something funny. She's trying to make you smile. Right. DOA has become the thing he hates. A mod. One of us.
I like that. This is very funny. That did make me smile. See, we got to figure out ebb and flow. We got to figure it out.
That's right.
Summer Savage. You better watch out.
Rose Petal, Abby Normal, Liz and Lara. I thought I grew up fucked up, but nope, I lived the best life. Compared to your lives, my wishes for you both for eternal happiness.
And
well,
also,
thank you
Rose
so
Petal,
very much.
Yeah, I would also say that, like, no, you probably did grow up fucked up. Like, it's okay to also be like, everything's fucked up. Like, there's literally, and I bet you, Rose Petal, there's moments in your childhood and your life where you're like, okay, this pocket was nice. This part under this tree while I was smelling the roses and playing with my kitten was fun. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like, yeah, it wasn't all horrible. But do you know what Scientology does to children trying to leave Scientology and the Sea Org about their childhood and expose it? You know what they do? They make you feel like you're over exaggerating. They make you feel, well, do you remember that time you went to watch Titanic? Don't you remember that time you went to the Lion King? Don't you remember this? And it's like, that is 1 hour. Like the Lion King is a 3-hour field trip, if you want to call that, right? Out of a 14-year childhood being stuck at the Inn Ranch. You're going to call out these fucking moments of a day that should have been of balance, of some balance of the torture and the random normal torture. Just like, why was that done? Oh, I don't know. That's just the policy. That was the schedule. Well, all of that was torture. All of that was torture. So we were living a constant tortured, normal fucking, where would they normalize tortured schedules, let alone physically doing physical fucking torture work, and then being put into physical torture lower conditions if you were not fucking adhering to the orders demanded of the torture. Once you were adhering to the orders demanded of the torture perfectly, then you felt like you were able to breathe a little bit under all of the torture. So anyways, Rose Petal, it's not that you didn't grow up fucked up. There are pockets of disgust, and that's why this community is so strong. This is what's so cool. This is why this community is so strong, is it doesn't take just you to be me and Liz to be growing up in this cult for you guys to understand everything we're going through. Not only that, sorry, I still have major fucking allergies from the fires and shit. Not only that, the community teaches us stuff all the time. The community even gives us people some links and some emails to people that are like real therapists and real people that would be like, I won't let you down because it's my job not to let you down. Like, it's pretty fucking amazing. And it's okay that in this time of us learning our community and things like this, if we have to kind of step away from certain people or behaviors because they are being less helpful and they're being more ego or more driven by something that is not what is actually actionable, taking action into like doing actual physical work, going to the courthouses, doing the legal things that are actually bringing justice to the children that were born and raised in this and that are going to be fucking going into this unless we make these laws. So anyways, I'm going on a rant again. I love you. But yes, we understand the community helps us. We all help the community. You keep us aligned. You keep us loving, learning and loving with you.
Mm-hmm. So Hybrid Basher asked, where did we get our cigarettes?
The canteen was the only place you were allowed to buy your cigarettes. It was sort of looked down upon. I did know that there were certain heavy smokers or even just casual smokers, I say, who would find, the treasury sec or something would be able to be like, oh, I got a hookup from so-and-so. And I'm sure, what's his name? Scobie's husband. Amy Scobie's husband? Yeah. Matt Pesh. Matt Pesh was Matt. No, not Matt Pesh. Is it Pesh?
Yeah, it's Pesh.
Okay. He was the Treasury Secretary, So he would know all about that. He would know about all the like, oh, the deals they could get when they buy cartons via, just buying packs of them from another thing. So they would literally be making money off of the Sea Org members when they would buy cartons of cigarettes and then put them in the canteen and sell them individually for more to the Sea Org members. So they would still sell them the same price they would be outside of the Sea Org to the Sea Org members, even though they were buying them in ultra bulk.
Yeah.
So where would our money go? It would be funneled there. It would be, and for me, I was underage, but near my later teens, I was like, oh, I'm going to rebel and start smoking so that I can get kicked out faster. I was trying to leave the Sea Org around 16. Then finally I got, convinced, manipulated to come back by friends and stuff. They made they didn't see what age did you start smoking around 16. Because I was smoking cool cigarettes because L. Ron Hubbard once smoked cool cigarettes. And
12.
so, yeah, the menthol, you were 12?
Mm-hmm. Marlboro Reds.
Marlboro Reds. And
old.
where, was there somebody around you smoking Marlboro Reds? What made you do that?
My dad.
Oh, okay. Yes, that would make a sense. It's so funny, Liz. I literally have a complete, clear visual image of your dad now. Now that this is so crazy, but once you said the thing about his stained mustache, or somebody said it, maybe Amy Scobie was talking to us about it or something. And that, oh, I know your daddy always had that. And it was sweet, but he always had that stained mustache. And I was like, oh, that's Bob Ferris, the tall guy, white hair and or blonde hair, and with the cigarette, like always smoking the smoky bearded mustache from smoking so many, kind of tainted brown a little in the blonde. Right, he had like a blondish brown, light brown hair,
he was a full towhead.
Oh, so he definitely you could definitely see the smoke collecting up on that gram. So yeah, and I just feel so shit. I just feel like, yes, he was always in charge of something. Oh, always something going. Oh yeah, okay, don't interrupt Bob because he's got something on his mind. Something's going on and he's dealing with something.
Right.
And then when my dad got demoted a bunch from sales and random posts, they would always throw people on the decks in the estates org. So Bob Ferris would always be part of the people running people that were put on decks and certain things, or they would be like having somebody who was good with cameras or security, this or that. They were like, all right, well, Bob Ferris will be watching them. Like Bob Ferris just had the authority and approval to kind of see everything, but he was in a low position.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah.
Someone asked if I grew up at Flag. I lived in Florida for 6 months. But I was at the, oh my God, I was just thinking about this the other day. What was it called?
Shangri Lodge? What is it?
No,
I'll help you.
It was 3 abbreviations. It was an abbreviation.
For what?
It was the hotel. Or it used to be a Motel 6, and then it got converted into staff housing. And
QI? Wait, in where? In Clearwater?
Yes, the QI. The QI.
The Quality Inn.
Yeah, QI. And so I was at the QI.
That's where I landed from the Int Ranch.
Is the QI.
The first or the second group of people was me and five other kids going to the QI. Landed from the airport, drove in a van straight to the QI. To go to the dorms that had like 8 to 12 people in each dorm with bunk beds that stacked up 3 or less. And part of them was like, oh, part of the thing is we're moving you guys into these so that you can fix them up and make them shiny and great.
Yeah.
And, oh, by the way, the fire department is coming in 48 hours. You guys need to get these bunk beds down and make it look great and perfect because the PR for Scientology is all on you. You.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. So get started and make sure you get that.
And it better be white glove clean. Like
white glove
clean.
Don't make me pull out. Do not make me pull out that white glove, Liz.
I would fail.
Yeah,
I would.
cat hairs everywhere. No animals
Yeah.
inside.
We
That's
got
why.
6 dogs. I would fail. Fail. My vacuum
So-
gets run every single day, and I still fail.
Fail, fail, fail. You're a failure at failing. Okay, so what would you eat? I have a bunch of random questions up on here. Oh, and also you can pull up any starred things. We're totally, guys, we're winding down about now. We're talking about we're talking about all the crazy. The QI got sold. Scientology wants nothing to do with it. Yes, Jessica. Jessica LaBarba. Who are you? Okay. The QI is now apparently some Goodwill is owned by like Goodwill, like Scientology or whatever. Goodwill owns it now. So they want nothing to do with it. That's just funny. Yeah. I just imagine, hi, honey. I saw you in there earlier. Hi, honey bunny. So let's talk about really quick. See, you both have a lot of animals now. OMG. I literally adore the fact. One of my favorite things about life right now is having animals.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Carrie, but the animals are a good
No, I
second,
mean like
third.
I mean other than I'm saying of love, there's such a sweetness that feels uncomfortable from somebody being raised in the Scientology world, that relaxing with an animal and sharing just a moment with them is so unbelievably fucking beautiful.
I find myself being the parent I always wanted.
Yes, me too. And I catch myself
Like,
going
let's
like,
snuggle.
why are you doing
I want
that?
hugs and
Yeah.
kisses. You're so beautiful. Oh, look at that.
All the time. I kiss Foxy nonstop and she's kind of going like, ugh, it's annoying. And I'm like, you don't like it? Well, this is what I didn't get. So you, and I'm literally like in her face, kissing each of her. I'm like, oh, and your nose gets one, and these freckles. It's just so sweet. And she knows it. And the cats know it. And they just like when there's like it should almost be like a demand, it should be a thing in America that you have to be taking care of some sort of animal in your paths of duty, wherever, even if you're a traveler, then like baby, like there has to be I don't know, I don't want to demand anything of anybody. I just also think that if you rescue a cat, you should have more than one cat. You should just already have two so that they can definitely have a friend. Okay, that's all. I'm getting sidetracked again. But no, we were not allowed. Animals in the Church of Scientology and the Sea Organization are a distraction to the mission of clearing the planet. And if you have a cat for any reason, you have to have like extreme approval and a good enough reason and so on. And it must affect the PR of Scientology for you to have or not have that cat or dog.
Yeah.
Only David Miscavige can have his dogs, and he has like beagles, and he doesn't take care of them. He just uses them as if he as if he takes care of animals. He does not know. He does not know how to have any relationship. All of his relationships are constructed. So imagine he's saying, "Oh, my dogs." No, he has people taking care of. He has stewards and people like myself at times, Jessica Englehart, okay, taking care of his dogs, not him.
Yeah, I guarantee you, COP is not picking up doggy doo doo.
No fucking abso-fucking-lutely not. And if he is, he's like, see, look, guys, look at me. I just picked up the dog shit. How fucking impressive are you? How impressive am I? Are you guys impressed by this? I can go down to your low standards. He literally is showing them like, look, we're all human. I doubt that Dave Miscavige has ever picked up dog shit in his life.
No. But I'm sure he stepped in it and someone went to the RPF.
100%. And also probably threw the, Scientology Italian brand logo shoe away in the trash and demanded 5 new ones. And everybody sec checked, including the dog care. Why did the dog?
How dare you? Why did you forget that one?
So then let's roll the cameras back. Security's watching everything. Who let the dog shit? Who let the dog shit without picking it up? Who let the dog?
I love that. Who let the dog shit?
Without picking it up, I said, "Who let the dog shit?" COB's on your ass. So pigs birthing and rice and beans. One last topic. This was one of the questions that somebody asked. They said, pigs birthing, rice and beans, does that affect your meals and your breakfast and your lunch and dinner? Are you always eating rice and beans for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? When you're on rice
when you're on rice and beans, yeah.
And pigs birthing
you're rice and beans, you're not getting a paycheck.
Yeah, if you're on rice and beans, you're in lower conditions, you're not getting a paycheck, and you're most likely in pigs birthing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry, I'm laughing at everybody's laughing emojis about who let the dog poop. Or isn't it who did it? What did we just do?
Who let the dogs out? Oof.
No, it's supposed to be that, but we changed it to
who didn't let pick up the dog poop?
Shit? Who didn't pick up the dog poop? No, I fucked it up already. Sorry, guys. See, songs and poop are not meant for me.
Are not sexy. They're not sexy.
Songs are not good. Not good. Not good. I like to poop, baby, poop.
I love that. I think we all like to do that. It's kind of a
okay. Yeah. Sorry. So pigs birthing. So just so you guys know, rice and beans. Yeah. You wouldn't be able to even go to the buffet. And even if I was in lower conditions in CMO, I would still, this is what's so fucked up. If you were in CMO as an executive, or, anybody in CMO is an executive compared to anybody in a lower organization, even if it's FSO, even if you're an executive in the lower organization, that little young 14-year-old messenger or 9-year-old messenger, serial Bob Melly, is literally superior to you by threefold compared to all your seniors up, because they're above the captain of your organization. Technically, they're a messenger of L. Ron Hubbard. So even if somebody in CMO was in a lower condition or something, they would still eat rice and beans, but with CMO. They would still be with CMO. But so it would be really embarrassing that somebody in CMO would be eating rice and beans. It would be very rare too. Most people eating rice and beans in CMO, it would just be a disciplinary action from Angie fucking witch. Actually, that's an insult. From bitch ass Angie Blankenship, the CMO would literally make executive messengers eat rice and beans in front of the captain and stuff of the lower organization to see that program's operator or something was in a lower condition in front of the exact people that they're trying to get fucking ethics presence from to get them to get shit done.
Yep.
Anyways, it's really fucked up. I think Debbie Crook talked about a lot of that in the lawsuit, that whole thing where you're being forced to do something that wasn't being done from some other division that literally had, you had no. Anyways, I'm going on a fucking roll. Okay. Pigs birthing. Oh, and somebody asked RPF food. Stephen Miller question, RPF food. So for the RPF I knew was at the Int Ranch.
We didn't have. I don't remember seeing an RPF or one at Celebrity Center, but I absolutely remember seeing them at PAC.
So PAC meaning the blue building?
Yeah.
Okay. How would you see them? When would you see them?
So if I had to go drop something off for one of the other orgs, or go drive something somewhere, or go drop off equipment, whatever needed to happen, you would see them in their gray, their black and grays, and
black and grays. That's when I was seeing my father and his brother, my uncle, R.I.P. Uncle Paul Anderson, my dad's actual biological brother. Him and my dad were both on the RPF down here at the blue building in their gray and their black pants and running around with the black wristband on. My uncle Paul had already been on the RPF longer than him, and he had a gold wristband, which means a goldenrod wristband, which means he was more ethical or something. He was at a better, a higher level on the RPF. So my dad had a black one, and I visually remember being like, "Dad, oh my God, I was like, look at the brother. I even made a joke. I was like, look at the brothers are on the RPF together. And they were twins for a little bit, and then that got changed. Anyway, so it's so fucked up. And then my uncle Paul was sent from the RPF to another country to handle his cancer in an all natural way, and he died.
I'm stuck. Nobody asked us at what age do we start drinking CalMag.
Well, they don't know what CalMag is. Calcium, magnesium. I know. If you watch Liz's stream, I'm sure you guys all know about CalMag because Liz still likes the CalMag. That's disgusting.
I do.
But it's good. It's good for her. It's good for you. But CalMag is a made-up drink that L. Ron Hubbard concocted that he stole from some sort of somebody that had it right, I'm sure, at some point. And he concocted and was like, this is the exact amount, and this is what you have to do. And it basically was calcium, magnesium, vinegar, and a little bit of something. What?
Hold on. Someone just got home. Hold on.
A little bit of something like sodium, whatever. It was just this made up drink to be able to help your bones and body and whatever. And it was like the go-to drink for all the children at the Int Ranch every night. It'd be like, drink your CalMag. And it would just kind of make all the kids, I'm sure, I don't know if it was all, I don't know. I just know that we would drink it and it would help all the children allegedly go to sleep. I would drink the CalMag and I would still be up like, nope, didn't work. And I would always be planning like, would now be a good time to blow? Everybody's sleeping. And then I'd be like, oh, I could leave and then come back. I could run off and go. I would look out the window. I always tried to get the bed we always had our assigned beds, but anytime I was moving into a dorm, I'd always be like demanding, like, or begging another cadet, please let me get the window or I'm going to go insane. If I could look out the window, then at least I could like imagine the whole world. I could see the horse corral. I could see the horses and their shiny eyes at night. I could see Colory, the cat. I could see all of them. It was like a whole world of a moment where I wasn't being watched, even though I was. As a child, I still thought, oh, I'm in my bunk bed by the window watching and seeing all these things happening. And I just felt like even in that moment, like I was being lied to, of course. I wasn't even sleeping without permission. But in my moment, they were like, that's it, lights out, go to bed, and that was it. And I just thought, oh, good, now I can kind of be forced in my own world. Oh, they're just helping me be forced in my own world to sleep better. And so I would be sleeping better, like going on, looking out the window, imagining. And sometimes I would, at 3 a.m. when it was raining, slide out and let Colory, the cat, come in. And or I would jump out and go hang out with the horses in the middle of the night. And I would get caught and run back before I got in trouble. You're muted, baby boo-boo. Got you. I got you right in time. Nobody knew.
Yep. I got caught doing everything.
I did too. I always thought I was like good at it. And then I was like, and then fuck. And then fucking the worst person would be walking by and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. And then all of a sudden it's like, I would have to make up some fucking story. I'm quick. I'd be, I'm looking for the hammer because Mr. Bullshit. You were literally trying to run up. Like, I saw Colory and so I was just putting her kitten back. I'm like red-handed caught and like, I just letting Colory come into my bed. Holding one of her babies and with Colory with the kitten in her mouth. Like Colory was like, yeah, we're going in your bed. Anyways, I just remember moments like that. To me, that's precious. To me, like I helped give a cat, give a cat, like I helped give birth to kittens. I helped the mom give birth to kittens under my freaking sheet where because I thought I was going to get in trouble. That's so insane. So I was like, okay, shh. I was like, good girl. And then my friend was like, okay, I won't tell anybody, but don't tell any, because if you tell any other cadet now, all of a sudden all the dorms going to be up and the adults are going to come in and take away the cat and the kittens. So we were being so quiet and we literally helped Colory give birth to her kittens. It was so precious. Okay,
That's
wow.
cute.
Sidetrack. Yeah.
Sidetrack. Well, we have two questions that I have to pop up. So when you got out, pizza, like what's pizza? We had pizza. At AOLA, we had pizza.
We did not. At the Inn Ranch, that was rare as F. And that pizza was only like you had a day off, Libs, a day off, and your dad brought it, or they fucking ordered Domino's pizza to the ranch, which is so weird.
AOLA was constantly number one. And I mean like on a regular basis, because we all know that Ivan Obolinski was falsifying his stats.
Falsifier.
So, yeah, falsifier.
He's
I
a
don't care. Got me
falsifier.
pizza.
Yes,
Got me
yes.
pizza
Good
regularly.
fucking job. Get that in and out. Get that pizza.
So we had pizza, Taco Bell. I didn't know what Taco Bell was until my grandma took me to Taco Bell. And I think I was like 10 years old. I was 10 or 11. And my grandma took me to Taco Bell. And I got a Mexican pizza. And let me tell you, it did not taste like pizza. It tasted better than a pizza. It was a mixture of amazingness and, oh my goodness, all in one. It was a Mexican pizza. And I still eat them to this day.
I think some of the kids were using phrases like Taco Bell, te quiero Taco Bell. But like, I didn't ever know what Taco Bell was really either until I think I was like sort of in Florida, sort of coming to LA. Like you just like you start to learn Subway and all these. Isn't it crazy, Liz, though, coming out of Scientology as kids and being the younger, whether you like it or not, you're like, nah, either way, we were young children growing up in this structure, right? And then we come out and we're seeing the whole world, all these potholes of like, you know, even private, you know, in and out, and then seeing bigger things, McDonald's that like spread all over the world, all over the country, all over taking over. But I'm just saying, it's like you're learning literally like a Monopoly game of life. And it's just like, that's what it feels like leaving Scientology. You're learning like a Monopoly game of life for the first time. That's what it feels like. You're going like, oh, do I just want to be an artist and like try to just be underground and just be satisfied with what I have? Because that's a big world out there. And then like the moment you go to strive or be out there or be crazy, all of a sudden it's like so much and the world is not what you viewed it as. It's not even the game you stepped out in that you planned everything. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're
We
like,
do-
no, I didn't.
No, it does. Do either of you know anyone that went to Mojave Academy? I believe we know someone.
Oh, we definitely do. We definitely do.
And it was there in like 2011. I don't want to say their name, but you're more than welcome to email any one of us.
Ezra.
You can email me at Say Bob Ferris.
Yeah, and Liz will give you my email. Can you put up the email for them, please? Or actually, Summer, can you guys put up, or whoever, can you guys put up both mine and Liz's email so that anybody in the chat can email? If you guys have any ways, either for, and I love, if you truly know a way to represent somebody like Liz and myself to get our parents out of the structure of Golden Era Productions and Hemet, how to physically, actually, legally get them out under our behalfs as the child's, the biological children of these parents, these adults that have been completely brain fucked. And have no idea of the outside actual law structures. If you can help us with somehow legally getting them out where we can physically see them, even with a third party or an outside person involved, how amazing would that be, Liz? If we could even just get them in a room where we could see them face to face and say, I need to see that you're okay. I need to legally know that I can say what I need to say to you and you can change your mind if you like.
Yep.
Based on what I'm
Yep.
saying. And we need that opportunity. I think that will heal us a lot. Even to be able to do that would heal us a lot. So if there's somebody that can help us legally be able to summons our parents by a legal person in the city or something to really give them a psychological evaluation, they will, based on our stories here on YouTube of the children being coming from this, from being children from parents that are absolutely dedicated and will not do anything to sidetrack from their mission of Scientology. Let's see how psychologically damaging that is for a child alone. But then to have parents that are stuck in this, how legally are they actually competent to be able to make decisions and think literally for themselves?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
So this one is, I think you mean Obolinskis. How many Obolinskis are there? Well, Sasha has passed away. You have
R.I.P.
Ivan
Sasha.
Obolinsky, and he's their dad. Then you have Sasha Obolinsky, who is, yes, R.I.P. Then you have another brother, and then you have Serge Obolinsky. I am not going to announce the other name because, to be completely honest, he's still inside. So.
Do you mean the other brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Also, here's another thing I want to shout out. Obolinsky's related everything. If you were a cadet in any form, in any organization, if you were then or even, let's just put it this way. If you were in Scientology, ready to be signing up for the Sea Org, and then eventually in the Sea Org, and you were underage, and you're not sure how you want to go about talking or telling your story, please come to me and Liz, and we will talk to you on our live streams. We will do this on our live streams. Me and Liz will be able to communicate and ask questions because we've now been able to experience all the questions thrown at us and us trying to decipher and also keep cool with our own emotions while being asked so many fucking questions about something so sensitive for so long. That happened to us in our lives. We are a cute little fun little group, couple of people that have been through the childhood experience, that have been through the deep manipulation of Scientology and its deep control, and the idea we understand because of our own experiences, the psychological damage that we've had to grow out of and get rid of. So please come, please. Did you put up the emails? If you guys can,
they're
just
in the
email,
chat as well.
Perfect. If you can, there's Liz's save Bob Ferris at gmail.com. And that's Ferris with 2 R's and 1 S.
Ferris.
Ferris. And then mine is Lara, Lara, FM music at gmail.com. So you guys can email us and we'll have a live stream and talk about your story. And we'll just start with just the simple basic shit. That's it.
Absolutely. Because I would gladly help anybody. And if you're not ready to be on camera, but you just need someone to talk to, we understand that too. Oops, sorry, I didn't pop up the other one.
That's okay. I have a moderator who will do it.
Sweet.
Just kidding. That's Ashley.
It's easier than you think to be on here and explain stuff. It's cathartic and therapeutic to get out some of these memories, because some of these memories are locked up in the tiny vault where it's like, please don't talk about this. This is the no-no zone.
Yeah, and also the only people who ever have said, don't do this, are all people who came from a cult behavior that thinks that demanding that or asking somebody to do that is a normal thing. And it's not. You don't ask people to be a certain way and structure in their life around you. No, that's not what fucking happens in America. America is actually a freedom of speech. In fact, a lot that goes wrong politically, I believe, and this is coming from a no political stance believer of any sort, is people not talking to each other about things that they should be breaking down and not running away from conversations that they should be having. Sit there and argue it out. Let the world hear your argument, so then later the world can also give you advice about how you were wrong and how you were right and what you did that was great and what wasn't good. That would be the politically right thing to do in a political situation. And I feel like a system like this could work if it's actually being worked. Like, if it's gonna, we're not gonna bullshit each other about how we're playing the game. You fucking play the game legitimately, or you're already out for not playing. Like, you're out. You played the game wrong. Can't vote this year. You fucking caught in a bullshit thing here. You know what I mean? Like, something like that, where actually voting is a beautiful privilege and it does make sense and it does work. That way it feels like, I don't know. Anyways, I'm not trying to get any political anything. I'm just saying it's very clear to children that have been born and raised in this crazy ass fucking controlled structure. When you come out and see the world in our view, it's very easy to be like, no, we know what freedom, we know what being controlled it here. How about this? We're still learning actually what freedom is by going to therapy and by living our lives and going through experiences and saying how we feel and talking about it. But it's okay also to realize that, yes, I did feel fear and uncomfortable and not completely open and not on eggshells when this person would come up and try to be on a stream with us. It did feel very controlled and very, I'm just talking about a certain thing, but this happens all the time. It feels like the moment you can't communicate or be open about something comfortably and without anger or like some, I guess, emotional intelligence, it feels that it's always because it's coming from something where you weren't able to say something. You're being chastised or whatever it is by saying something that fucking nobody's saying. And it just needs to be said so that there is no superior to a situation that isn't allowed to have superiority to it. This is healing. This is about letting that all go. Love when you two get together. I love it too, and Liz loved it. We were just chatting about some random thing, and then
We were talking about Haagen-Dazs. You can thank Ashley because now I want Haagen-Dazs.
Oh, MG, let's talk about that. So, like, certain things. Oh yeah. So, what did you do for birthday cakes? Really quick before we end any kind of live, we need to talk about birthday cakes. What did you do when it was your birthday? And I know there were times where you got nothing and it was horrible. But if you were ethical enough or something. Like, for example, at the Inn Ranch, we got our cakes and shit directly from Gold Base. Like, Nucci, the baker, would make the cake if you were ethical enough and your parents put money toward the supplies and everything. Nucci would give them a discount and make it, whatever. Again, I told a story about when I wasn't okay and I wasn't doing, I was out ethics, basically. Oh my God, I was going through a fucking child mental breakdown. But anyways, they literally were like, okay, well, clearly the sugar, she can't have sugar. I was in the governance group. She can't have sugar. So they literally made me the fucking most disgusting cake. They didn't mean to. They just did all the cake without any sugar. And I was just like, this literally tastes like brownies with dirt. Anyway, so what did
I didn't
you
get
have?
my first birthday cake. And I know we were planning on ending this, but I didn't get my first birthday cake till I was 11.
Oh, wow. Hi. Wow.
I never got a birthday cake before then.
What happened at 11? Why 11?
Because my Nana set my birthday party up.
And that was
the year before she died.
Wow, Liz. I was going to say that. Wow. So did you feel safe with your Nana?
Yeah.
Always?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so comforting, just that feeling.
My Nana used to say to me growing up, like if I was in the hospital or if I had a black eye or a broken nose or a broken arm or a broken leg or whatever, she would always tell me this too shall pass. Till I got it tattooed on my chest.
I I hear it a lot more now, which is totally fine and cute. And when I'm in crazy times, I go, this disturbing, intense feeling I'm feeling inside right now, this will pass.
Mhm.
And so that does help. But when I first heard that, this too shall pass, when I first heard that, I was like, wow, that just that alone, like, allowed me for myself to say whatever this is that I'm feeling. It doesn't matter what the world is judging, right? It goes to me, this too shall pass. Whatever's going on, this intense, insane feeling will pass. And just the first idea of something being so intense being relieved by the idea that it will go away, this too will go away, or this will end, or something, either way, something will move on. This is going to
Yeah.
be eventually in the past, and it gives it immediate relief somehow. And it's in such an anxiety situation or feeling like that you have like, oh, I can't breathe, I can't talk, I can't move. This too shall pass.
Yeah. That was
I
my
love
first
that.
birthday cake. I even got it in super feminine handwriting. Oh.
Aww.
I had to pick as girly as, like, if she had written it.
Aww. That is so cute. Wow, good. We really did. Through all my little notes, we kind of did answer all the fun things. I love that.
Well, I have to answer
ladies,
this one question real quick because this one
put
just
in
popped
your
up.
last questions. Put in your
Yep.
last questions.
Liz, can you tell what happened when you tried to do a wellness check on your dad? Okay, so the first time I tried to do a wellness check, it turned out to be a giant joke because I saw Bob Ferris earlier today. And so the cop left. End of first wellness check. Second wellness check. I do one personally where I go down. Well, no, I sent someone first and then they told me to come down. I did the third one myself. And then the fourth one, they supposedly made contact, but I can't get the body camera to see if it's actually him. Like, I wanted to hear him talk.
And
All these people.
Oh, sorry.
Go
Did
ahead.
they know for sure there was body camera to be seen?
Yeah.
Are you sure? You sure that when they went in, their body camera was on?
1,000% positive.
You're
Because
1,000%.
the
Did you
chief-
see it?
No. The
Okay.
chief of police said that there is body cam footage, and someone from NBC Channel 7 over there was helping via Claire. Like, Claire was helping me talk to this person that works for Channel 7.
Mhm.
I guess is one of Leah's friends.
Yeah.
But she put in a request, a FOIA request, and was denied due to an open investigation. I was denied when I put in my FOIA request due to an open investigation.
Wait, this was this was during the show?
No, this wasn't during
After the show. Way after the show.
This was when I first came.
So when you
to
say
the
Leah
scene.
Remini, she was just helping randomly?
She's the one.
What?
Yeah, she told Claire to have me talk to the girl at Channel 7.
Okay. And so Leah contacted Claire about that?
Yep.
And then Claire called you?
Yep.
And then did you do that thing with Channel 7?
I did.
And
her boss wouldn't let the story roll.
Okay. Interesting. And so then you said just now that you did a FOIA request, and the reason that it
was denied as an open investigation.
Of what?
And that's all it said, open investigation. When I called the chief of police and asked him more information, he said, "Oh, I'm sure that that's a mistake. I'll get it for you." And then 2 years of calling and nothing, and Jackson calling and nothing.
Okay. I'm gonna, I'm gonna.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm getting a little teary.
No. I'll tell you. I'm going to after this stream, we'll stay on because we're gonna end so that we can, have our good limit or whatever you want, Liz, on your time. But I'll tell you some other stuff that we have. We'll talk about it soon.
Okay.
What happened to YRB can chat? I mean, chat. Pull up the comment, but I meant mods. Mods, can you pull up YRB's comment right there?
I think we just lost them.
Oh, okay. It says, have either of you spoken to Dorothy, who does family law, regarding competency interview and meeting? Your parents may have already signed over their guardianship to Scientology. It removes you. So, but this is the thing. I think, first of all, YRB, I think it's good that's a good question. I haven't spoken to Dorothy. I probably could. I just, and part of the thing I would talk to her about is that they would purposely remove the people that would try to get them out, or that aren't Scientologists. That would be part of having a lawyer there, is that would actually be the main thing, is that they're going to try to use this, their own daughter is not going to be able to physically speak and see their mom. Why not? Or their dad. Why not? Like, so yeah, we want to be able to have a lawyer who can fight that and understands really what's going on here. But somebody like Dorothy,
I would love Dorothy. If Dorothy could give me a face to face, I'd be like,
I would write a song
you're going
for
on
Dorothy.
the bucket list.
I would be like, yeah, I would. No, we're gonna. I'm telling you, full album. There would be a whole album. I would dedicate it to Dorothy. But if that came in, that's a great. Yes, I would. I'm honored. Is somebody giving us Dorothy? Just kidding. So yeah, I would. That's a good idea, though. I wonder. Yeah. Okay. Good note.
Yeah, it is definitely a good note. But so we have been on for a little.
We have other things as well going on that I'll tell you about after, Liz.
Okay. So we're gonna do this again. I'm gonna drag Lara again because I love chit-chatting with her, and it helps with therapy and processing a lot of the pain that we went through. Because people ask all the time, how did you guys survive? You guys are so strong. We didn't have a choice. It was survive or die. And I don't mean that in the haha funny. I mean it in the, you were put out on the street without your family. It was survive
the
or
world's
die.
against you, psychiatry.
They all hate you.
You can remove the comment.
Okay.
Sorry, Summer. Thank you. To the mods, not to you, Liz. I was saying Summer, love you guys.
Love you. Yes, their trivia is in like 10 minutes.
So
good. I promise Darth Beaver that I would come and say hi in the trivia. So I also promised Heather and Summer that I'd try to stop by. So if you can stop by, show a little love, play a little trivia, we'll go ahead and end this, and we will do this again. And Lara, stay so we can chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got some news for you guys. Stay tuned to both of our channels. We love you soon. We love you, and we'll see you soon too.
See you soon.
So